Welcome back to Podcast Recovery, everyone. We're your hosts, David O.
Carly S.
And
Okay, now
Derek
it's
V.
and Eric V. Yeah.
I had to, you know, with your little like, well,
Well, I was mocking you, and then you know. Carly did it the best. The last
good.
time
It was good.
She,
I liked
she
it.
nailed
I
it.
liked it.
What the fuck are we doing?
Still in step one.
We're still doing. This will now be our third episode, so it'll be 1.3 of step one. I believe that is my phone going off. I apologize. We're going through the entire NA step working guide, literally step by step, question by question. Well, you know, we might bounce around, and we're not going to read every single word in the book, but we will do our best to give you a cursory overview into, you know, the 12-step fellowships and a little bit more about your hosts. And here we go. Who would like to start with the first question? We are in the unmanageability section. Nobody? Okay.
What trouble have I had at work or school because of my addiction?
That's actually a perfect one for you.
For work?
Yeah.
Because I never had trouble at school whatsoever.
No, you always abide by rule number 1. Play like a champion.
Correct. But yeah, that's the trouble at work that
I
the
just kept-
coworkers found out about that. It's kind of what,
How did they find out about it?
because we were out partying, and hanging out one night.
You're like,
And
bitch,
I
it's
was
on
doing-
you, bitch, it's on your nose.
No.
We can see that shit.
But like, it was talking about unmanageability. Like, it wasn't necessarily like outwardly unmanageable, but I remember that night just like internally and emotionally just not being able to do it anymore.
Yeah.
And I said something to one of them, but we happened to be like, we were at their house, and they
Oh,
found
you're in somebody's house.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah. And that's how they found out, and then said nothing about it, and then went into work the next week and kind of told the higher ups.
You got tattled on.
Uh-huh.
Nice.
And that was when it was given the option of like, all right, here's your two choices.
What do we do here?
Yeah.
All right. And what about Eric? You were always work oriented, so
I was always work oriented. School I thought was kind of a joke, but like I always did fine in school.
yeah.
But the only time I ever ran into really trouble with work or school is when I hit like my bottoms.
Yeah.
And I stopped going to work or school.
Yeah, I was like,
And
you just sort of stopped doing both of them.
But I never lost my job or got kicked out. I always like.
Well, you were also
retained-
self-employed for most of it, weren't
Well,
you?
no.
Before you were doing
Before
weddings and shit.
Yeah, before all that,
Videography,
I worked at like a community college, and I taught tennis, and I worked at record stores. So.
Well, record stores. I mean, that's hard to get.
Well, yeah, that, but
Comes with the
but a
territory.
community.
Yeah, your guy's nodding out at the counter. Yeah, he does that.
Well, a community college though, right? Like that one's a little bit different. Same with
no,
teaching
it's also
kids
comes with
tennis.
the territory.
Teaching kids tennis is also
Yeah,
you know. But no, we used to do shots behind the counter at Record and Tape. Like everyone
Yeah,
would.
of course.
It was kind of funny. Like looking back on it, like everyone would like be like, you know, standing up behind the counter, and then we'd be like, all right, down, and everyone would go down, take a shot, come back up. There'd be like people walking around. We had like a vape in the back that like was just always on, you know, in the back room.
I miss record and tape traders.
Like working at record stores was so much fun.
Oh yeah.
Like I'm so happy I got like an Empire record experience as a kid.
You know that was filmed in Wilmington, North Carolina?
I'm very surprised by that.
Why?
There's
Actually,
not
dude,
much in Wilmington, North Carolina.
Wilmington is actually, dude.
You know, Wilmington's the only place I've ever been to a strip club. Is Wilmington, North Carolina.
That's okay.
Wilmington is the Hollywood of the East, is what they
Yes.
call it. Yeah.
I don't believe that.
That's 100%
But
what
there's,
they
like-
call it. Dude, Dawson's Creek was filmed there. A whole bunch
One
of
Tree
movies.
Hill was filmed
One
there.
Tree Hill was filmed there. I think Gilmore Girls was filmed there. Lots of shit's filmed in and around Wilmington. Like the opening scenes to Dawson's Creek are at Wrightsville Beach.
Yeah, I
Now you know.
don't know.
Now you know. All right. What trouble did I have at work and school? I mean, I didn't give a fuck about school. I did 1 or 2 semesters after high school at HCC. I mean, I stopped giving a shit about high school.
Dude, I just bought an HCC hat.
Go Dragons.
Go Dragons. It has a dragon logo on it. That's why I bought
Their
it.
dragon logo is not bad.
It's sick. It is sick.
Anyway.
I'm a fan.
Okay.
I went to HCC too, so.
Yeah. It's a very good community college, actually. And I took it for granted, but I stopped paying attention to school with drugs in middle school and high school. And then at work, I was actually only officially fired from anywhere once. But
Really? I've never been fired.
Me neither.
it was only once. And it was literally a corporate mandate because I had 3. It wasn't because of performance. It was because I had 3 unexcused absences. And they were like, "Hey, it's corporate policy. We gotta let you go." They were like, after 6 months you can reapply. But
Why did you have unexcused absences?
because I was doing drugs, man. Like
Oh.
and there were days when I either forgot shit, and then like what I don't know, shit happened.
Yeah.
And so, what trouble did? Yeah, that's our trouble with work and school. They were less important than drugs. What trouble have I had with my family as a result of my addiction? I'll take that one. I became homeless. Like I stopped living with my parents. My sister wouldn't talk to me or let me see my nieces or help me out in any way whatsoever. And it was mostly about emotional and actual physical isolation from my family because I just didn't want to involve them or hear any, "Oh, David, you should really shut up. I don't care." And then because also I had just had a whole bunch of baggage that I was running away from and didn't want to deal with anyway. So that was my family. Eric's blowing his nose, so we'll go to Carly.
None really, honestly.
Yeah, I didn't think so.
No. Because none of them knew. But
Yeah,
that
because
was
they were already out of the house and doing their own things.
right. Like it
You weren't
was
like hanging out. You were on a hanging out basis with Melissa or I can never remember your older sister's name.
Lindsay.
Lindsay.
Yeah, no. Yeah. None.
LMC. Okay, I'll get it.
Okay.
I'll get it. What about you? I know you got in like drag 'em out fights with your dad.
Oh yeah, me and my dad would like beat the shit out of each other.
Okay, so then we already know that story. What about your mom and your sister?
What about him?
I don't know. You tell me, dipshit.
My family, like my sister and I, we always had trouble with our relationship way before addiction. So I wouldn't even put that in the same category.
So did addiction not like? I mean, your mom will like.
Is your sister older?
No, she's younger. We're fine now. Like we're okay. Like,
Yeah.
But like we were never close, right? And we're never.
Just kind of weird.
But we're very similar, which is weird too. But
Well, then that makes sense why you're not close.
but we're different in the fact that she's like a sorority girl and I'm like a stoner.
Okay.
But with my mom,
I'm just so disappointed in you, Eric.
yeah, my mom's like disappointed, but it wasn't. Yeah, it's kind of it's hard because they're disappointed I'm doing drugs, but like I'm doing everything else. So
Yeah.
like they're happy I'm doing everything else, and like even now they're like, "Oh, I'm so happy, I'm proud of the way you've turned out." I'm like, "Okay, yeah, cool." But yeah, I mean the trouble, like there was always trouble with like the drugs. I was talking to my friend Alex yesterday. I was dropping him off at his house, and I was like, "Did you ever get sprayed with Febreze by my dad?" And he was like, "What the fuck?" And
I think your dad sprayed me with Febreze once.
he probably did.
I'm actually very certain of that. He definitely did.
Cigarettes cause more problems with my family than drugs, I think.
Dude, your dad hated it.
He
was like,
hated cigarettes.
were you smoking a cigarette? I was like, yeah.
All right, Febreze, turn around.
I
Turn around.
was like out by the fucking, like I wasn't doing
Turn
it in
around.
here.
Nope, turn
He was
around.
like, nope.
Febreze.
Vulcan, yeah. Your dad's weird.
Yeah, he really hates cigarettes a lot. But yeah, I mean, obviously the natural shit, like of being like, "Oh, you're grounded. Oh, I'm 18. You can't do shit," like all that sort of stuff. Like,
Yeah.
But yeah, normal family strife. I think nothing crazy.
All right. You take that third question, Eric.
So, what trouble have I had with my friends as a result of my addiction? Well, I used to have a lot of friends when I was younger, and I think what addiction did was slowly like cure them off, like call them off for.
Okay, I was like, cure them off.
Call them off.
Yeah.
Where it's just, and I think some of it would have happened naturally just with age. But some of it is obviously addiction, like
you were friends with somebody, and then we start doing drugs, and we're like,
then someone
I don't wanna hang out
stole
with
from
them
me,
anymore.
or I stole from somebody else, or like like that sort of stuff happened, or like someone pulled a knife on you, or like
My shit wasn't even that. Mine was just different interests. Like, say, like,
that's
Carly and I were friends, and like she starts, she's being a normal human and like doing sports and grades and shit. And I'm like, all right, well, I'm gonna go drink and smoke.
Well, David,
so it's just like,
if you remember
why would I hang out with you?
If you remember my my wedding, like my two best men, or my best man and my other friend are from like when I was 5. Right. So like I can keep friends, and like they don't need to be drug addicts. Right.
See, I wasn't like
so
that.
I like my closest friends were never drug addicts. They were always like normal people. And then
Same?
the drug addict people were always like the people I hung out with on the side. But like my like close best friends were always normal and turned out to be like normal people.
See, I did the exact opposite.
And I'm the fuck up.
Anybody that was like positive, I was just like, they don't want to fucking be with me. I was never told that. I just did it.
Mm-hmm.
But that's something that's like a reoccurring thing with you, David. Like we've talked with like you fucking yourself over with taking that charge.
Yeah.
Like that was you feeling less than, like, but you should have never done that.
Oh yeah. Well, it makes sense. Like I had abandonment issues with like, my brother and my dad. So in effort to avoid that with friends, I would never let myself get to the point of being pushed away. I would just walk away first.
Yeah.
So how's that? Do I insist on having my own way? What effects has my insistence had on my relationships? We know your answer, Eric. Go ahead.
I am very persuasive.
No.
And I don't mean to be.
By persuasive, do you mean subtly manipulative?
No.
Really?
Like, think about our home groups that we've been in, right?
That's subtle manipulation, dude.
No. Well, that's one of the reasons when I was in recovery last time, Tim and I decided that I shouldn't be at least active in a home group because I'm unable or incapable of not changing it to my will.
That's manipulation.
If everyone agrees with me, is it manipulation?
Yes.
Just
think of like a piece of clay. You can't leave a piece of clay the way it is. You have to manipulate it to the way you want it to look.
Fine. Yes, I manipulate people to get what I want.
Okay. Okay. That's fair.
But I'm doing it in recovery to help them to have a more well-rounded perspective on things, and to learn more. I'm gonna have to stop you.
You hear that? How that sounds worse, Eric? At least it's not better. It's not better.
I'm helping them.
I mean, there's a way to go about helping people, but I don't think your way.
Yeah, your way might not be the best way there, bud. What about you? I feel like in some things it has to be your way.
Yeah, I mean, nowadays things have to be the way that I put them.
Yes.
I don't know how Garrett handles it.
Yeah.
Right? Because
I would actually love to get to like I would love to pick into Garrett.
Oh, are you the person? See, I'm the person where things have to be a certain way.
But I don't.
So am I.
Yeah, I'm that person
too. Garrett
too.
would open up like that.
I think David's probably that person
He might.
as well.
So my thing is, I like things the way I like them, but I do not expect other people to do it that way. Does it still annoy me when other people don't do it that way? Sure.
Yeah, but you're
and
the
I will
one-
silently get annoyed about that
But
fact.
David-
And then go back and fix it myself.
But David, are you
Yes.
are you the one who does it though?
It depends on what it is. Like some shit, and so that's my thing. Like the things I am particular about, I'm very particular about, and the rest of it, I couldn't give a shit less. Like I will like where. Okay, so stuff in the kitchen, I like it. The where I fucking like it. And like, no offense, Kristen, you don't fucking I do most of the cooking, so don't fucking touch it. You have no fucking reason to be touching the shit. Why'd you move it? That is not where it belongs in any way whatsoever. When I go to a specific, like, okay, I'm working in the kitchen and I go to where my shit was and it's not there, I'm like, why the fuck is it not there? That's where it
Well,
fucking
does she
should
clean?
be. Yeah, but so do I. Like, we both clean, like, we both clean that area. Like, something that bothered, like, I fold my clothes a specific way and she folds my clothes in a way that I don't really like, but she does.
Why? Whoa, you both do laundry?
Yeah, it just depends. Yeah.
Lucky.
Yeah, sometimes I do it, sometimes she does it. It's not no big deal.
I'm the one who does laundry.
And I fold
You
like
both
I
do
fold
laundry?
clothes. I fold clothes like a retail worker.
Yeah, me too.
Like that's what I did.
Yeah, me too.
So, and she doesn't do that, and it fucking bothers me. But it
think-
doesn't. But it doesn't bother me enough to actually like say anything.
I think Garrett purposely does not do his laundry because I'll get to the point where I get so pissed off that I do it.
Oh.
And then
Yeah.
I fold it and then I put it away.
There's
See,
actually there's this great comedy skit where it's like this it's a couple talking and like this guy's talking to his girlfriend. He's like, this table is magic because whatever I put on top of it, the next day, it's gone. Or I'll put clothes on there, it'll be folded back in my hamper. And she's like, are you insane? He was like, I know. I tried. He was like, I tested this thing. I just really stacked shit on top of this thing and the next day it was always clean.
all gone.
It was all gone every time. And then like the cops come because the girlfriend disappears and like it's a female and male cop and the female's like, are you fucking nuts? And the male cop's like, no, I have that same table at home. It's hilarious. I'll send it to you later.
Yeah.
It's fucking funny. But yeah, guys do that. I could see Garrett doing that.
Do I consider the needs of others? What effect has my lack of consideration had on my relationships?
Ooh.
I say yes. I always consider
Yeah.
the needs of others. Even when I was fucking them
Yes.
over, I was like feeling bad about it.
Yeah.
And like
Yeah.
it like fucked up the rest of like anything I was doing. I was like, God, why'd I do that? Why'd I fucking do that? That's not me.
Yes, I have a very active and strong conscience. Mm-hmm. What effect is it? Have I? Let me think. Like I want to. Like I'm trying to think of like the inverse of that. Have I ever disregarded the need? I mean, like yes, I robbed people with a broken gun. So that's pretty. That's pretty disregarding of anybody's fucking basic humanity. But like other than those, like those that handful of situations. No, and anybody I cared about, I'm fairly considerate and like sometimes overly considerate. Like my brain will think of A through Z about a situation over and over and over again, and then it pisses me off that other people don't have that same consideration. Yeah, so I'd say I think we're all considerate. Do I accept responsibility for my life and my actions? Am I able to carry out my daily responsibilities without becoming overwhelmed? How has this affected my life? At the time, yes and no. Like at the time, did I accept responsibility? Yes, but I also still had a lot of blame on my parents. But 12 years later, I'm like, no, that shit's it's me. 99% of what happens in my life is my shit. Is there like 1% of meddling by other people? Probably. Am I able to carry out my daily responsibilities without becoming overwhelmed?
Fuck no. For me.
Sometimes. I mean, like I'd say nowadays in a given week, probably 4 to 5 days, I'm pretty good, and then 2 to 3 days, I'm like, this is fuck all this. This shit sucks.
Yeah.
What about you, Eric?
I live in an overwhelmed state
Oh yeah,
of mind.
yeah. How has this affected my life? A million fucking ways.
I've always accepted responsibility, like brazenly too. Like, yeah, I did that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's true.
I don't have any problem. Yeah, I fucking did that.
Yeah, you have no shame. That's true.
Yeah. So, am I able to carry out my daily responsibilities without being overwhelmed? I mean, if I didn't have drugs, I was overwhelmed,
Yeah.
and that affected my life.
Yeah. So now that we don't have drugs, we're constantly overwhelmed.
No, I mean, right now,
I mean, now it's not.
Now it's different.
I
So,
think
like-
I think for all of us, we've gotten to a point where like it's not necessarily that we're overwhelmed. We're just we're very cognitively aware of the fact that we are literally up to our necks in shit in our life, and we're all just treading water.
yeah, I mean, we're like
We just have so much shit to do that it's like, yep, okay, more laundry, more dishes, more stuff at work, bills. Oh my god, my car needs maintenance. Now I need to fix a faucet in my shower. I just fixed I just redid my kitchen. I'm doing this. I'm doing that. Like, yeah. So I mean, if we don't control our brains, we can just end up, in a corner like, okay, well, I'm just going to play video games for the next 4 hours instead of accomplishing anything because there's too much to accomplish. So.
Well, that used to be me, but now I'm just like constantly moving and like, yeah.
I mean, that's what we
There's
have to do.
too-
There's
there's
no other
too much
there's no other
now.
option.
Yeah.
The only other option is just let everything stack up to the point of like, it's just a mountain of shit that'll never get fucking done. So yeah, it's every day we're doing the dishes. Every day we're fucking doing this. Like, and there's some days where it's like, fuck, I wish these dogs would walk themselves. I'm sure.
Yes, there are days I wish that
Very
we could
rarely,
walk
but I'm sure
ourselves.
like 1 out of 100 days, you're probably like, fuck, will you just take care of yourselves for just one day?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tucker
No.
could do it.
Oh, Tucker would be fine. Ripken would, like, God knows.
Certain dogs, like Luna, I feel like would walk
I mean,
herself around
Topher,
the
sorry.
yard and be okay, but I don't trust her going on our normal walk.
Yeah, and your cats are useless.
My cats are amazing. They love.
First of all, one of your cats doesn't even exist.
it does exist. It
Dude,
doesn't like you.
Rory is in the shadow realm.
He doesn't like
I
you.
swear to fuck you, dude.
You
I've
know?
never been.
He doesn't like
I
you.
have taken care of your cats on many occasions.
And he hasn't even come out to say hello.
That rat bastard.
know?
I love you, Rory, wherever you are. No,
He's hiding upstairs.
I'm sure he is. Elliot and Jeannie very friendly. Anyway, who's next?
What's the next question?
It's, do I fall apart the minute things don't go according to plan? How has this affected my life?
Ooh. Pre-drugs or pre-recovery. What? I can't answer pre-recovery.
Oh no! Go ahead. You
Pre-recovery, like especially with heroin, or any drug, like anything,
yeah.
anything that had to do with opiates.
Oh, if a drug deal fell
If
through,
things
I'm
fell
pissed.
through, things went bad.
Oh yeah,
I
was pissed.
and,
I'm
like-
punching holes in the wall.
Well, no, like worse than that. Worse than punching holes in the wall. Like, because you're getting sick, like you're getting desperate. You're gonna be doing things that you wouldn't have done the day before.
Yeah.
So yeah, like it just gets grimy and it gets like things fall apart. If like you don't get the dope,
Yeah,
you got to figure out a new plan.
yeah.
But as long as I had it and I was high,
Then
then
everything's fine.
Yeah, then
nothing fucking mattered,
Yeah, nothing fucking mattered.
right?
Do I fall apart the minute things don't go for? No. Like I don't feel like this.
Well, how about we adjust it now? Like to now. So
No.
well, no.
Now, not at
Now,
all.
Now,
do
no.
I fall apart the minute things don't go according to plan? Sometimes, like when I'm overwhelmed and like I have my daughter screaming in my ear and like I'm holding 5 different things and I need to go do something else. Like sometimes I can like let that overwhelm me. But with like a few like breaths or a step away now from the situation like changes everything.
That's one thing I love about Magnus is he generally doesn't ask me for shit. Like, he's just like, I'm cool. He's like,
So he's
I
like a
got
cat.
you. Yeah, Magnus is very much
Magnus
a cat.
is a cat.
Yeah. He doesn't ask me for shit ever. Like, occasionally he'll like grab his cup and be like, "Hey, juice." And I'm like, "All right, let's go get some juice. No problem." But yeah, I mean,
I think. Go ahead.
no, you're good.
I was just gonna say, I think now, like, I don't really expect things to go according to plan.
Yeah, exactly.
So-
I've had so many plans fall apart at
Right.
this point. I just accept them like as,
And
oh,
if
this
it-
is garbage.
And if it goes the way that it's supposed to, it's like, holy shit, today's a good day.
Yeah, especially at work. Like
Yeah.
at work, I nowadays I just like I do not because it's about managing expectations really, like and I used to have like and I think that's age and experience because when you're younger I expect things to go right and it's like yeah and then honestly post 30 after age 30 you just watched a whole decade of your life fuck, none of that went to fucking plan. I am not where I wanted to be. So here I am now. What are we going to do? Yeah, and I just go into any job site or any task I'm doing it on a 5-day a week basis. Just like, this is going to be fucked. I'll make the best of it. Do I treat every challenge as a personal insult? How has this affected my life?
No,
No.
I used to.
I don't.
I certainly used to.
I like challenges.
No, like I was so like anti-God for a while that I was like everything that like came down the pike that was not good. Like I genuinely thought it was like an affront from God. Like
I get that. I can.
yeah, like
relate to that, yeah.
really? This is what you're doing to me today? Oh, okay, fine. Fuck
Right.
you.
Like, yeah, it was all a personal attack.
Yeah, I thought it was God just shoveling another scoopful of mashed potatoes on my plate when it's like, can I just get through this first? No? Oh, okay. Fuck me, right? Thanks, God. So
Mashed potato. Interesting phrase.
I mean, a pile of shit. What do you want?
I
Like,
wanted a pile of shit, David.
Like, yeah, I mean, that's the reality. I just was trying to church it up a little bit, I guess. But yeah, it was mostly it was mostly an idea about God that I was like, yeah, you're personally attacking me because you're a dick face. All right, who's next? I'm not reading every question. I know you've been great.
I've
Eric,
been reading
I know
most of
you
the
have.
fucking
You have.
questions.
You have. Eric,
Okay.
take the next one.
Do I maintain a crisis mentality, responding to every situation with panic? How has this affected my life?
A lot of these are early
This-
recovery questions.
This is
Well, it is
not
step
me,
one.
Step one.
but this is definitely my wife. This is my wife to a T.
Oh, Jesus.
She does. She has a crisis mentality, like to a T. Like,
Yeah.
and everything is panic and stress and like, anxiety.
Kristen's kind of like that.
And it's like, dude, just chill the fuck out, man. Like, just
Well,
smoke
yeah,
some weed, calm
Kristen's
down.
she's either peak or trough. It either does not matter or it matters way too much.
Yeah, and
there's no
and
like
it affects everything.
yeah. It's like okay, I get that.
I would say, I mean, my anxiety levels internally, like I don't respond with panic, but I internally panic a lot.
Yeah.
So it doesn't affect the people around me, but it definitely affects my stress levels on a day-to-day basis. But
Yeah.
what I do as a job, I can't respond
Yeah.
in panic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I internalize a bunch of shit, and then it all comes out.
Do you have a therapist?
When you pass out in
Carly?
the shower.
I do not.
You ever thought about getting one?
I had a therapist, and then I stopped going.
Did you not like them?
She was all right. I had to like cancel an appointment and reschedule it, and I just never did it, and it just kind of fell off.
That's what happens.
Kind of like what's probably going to happen with my primary.
Yeah.
Well, you need to find a new primary. That's the.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, I'm sure it would help, but
Do I have a crisis mentality responding to everything? No. I actively work against that because, and I feel like you do too, to a degree where you're just like, I don't have an option to freak out. Like it is like I have to be a rock.
Yeah.
And that, like, I always have that.
That's I feel
in my head. Like I feel a sense of duty. Like, nope, I have to be steady. I have to be consistent. I have to be, the strong one for, the jackass who doesn't do his fucking laundry, or my wife who freaks out about something even though 10 minutes ago she didn't give a shit about it. And
Well,
it's just like,
both of our wives also have autoimmune diseases,
which
does not help. Like,
which your wife takes care of, or
No.
at least addresses it way better than mine does.
She addresses it. She doesn't take care of it better. She
Yeah.
addresses it.
Yeah.
She could do better.
Yeah. My thing is, I'm like, Phil Mickelson has the exact same disease as you, and he
What?
is. Yeah.
No way.
Yeah. Phil Mickelson had psoriatic arthritis.
He's an amazing PGA player.
Yeah. That's what I tell my wife. I'm like, this doesn't have to make you a fucking cripple.
Yeah.
You can have a perfectly functional life if you just
Took your
pay
medicine
attention.
and figured out
If you
the
just
times and-
do your shit.
Okay. Let's
Yeah.
bring it back.
Okay.
Sorry.
Okay. Thank you. Do I ignore signs that something may be seriously wrong with my health, or with my children, thinking that it'll work out somehow?
Oh no, I'm like the most doctor-oriented person you'll ever meet.
I am now. I would put shit off for ridiculous amounts of time. Like, I'd be like, my tooth hurts, but not that much. And to the point where then I'm like waking up in the middle of the night crying, like, I'm going to the dentist tomorrow.
Dude, I have a dentist. I have a primary care doctor. I have a dermatologist. I have a gastrointestinal doctor. I have an orthopedic.
Dude, but I had none of that in
Yeah.
in addiction. And then, funny enough, the first thing I got in recovery was a barber. So I got a.
So you got your therapist.
I got my barber for. Yeah, I got a therapist, exactly. No, I did have a therapist, but like that went away. But no, I've had the same barber for like the last like.
Is it Juan?
No, God, no.
Okay.
No, I love that was really rude. No,
said you
I
got
absolutely
into
love
recovery,
one.
but
No,
yeah.
it was like year 2, and I got my hairstyle. Like I started figuring shit. I was like, okay, this is the person I'm going to go to get my hair done. So Sarah, we've had her on the podcast.
Oh, who?
Sarah R. She just cut Magnus's hair.
Okay.
She's fantastic.
I probably remember her.
Love you, Sarah. She listens to the podcast.
What's up then?
So I got that, and then I did have a chiropractor. So I got a chiropractor and a hairstylist, and then I eventually got, about 3-4 years ago, got a dentist, and now just this past year I got a primary care. So it took a while, but I mean,
You know what you should get now? Because you're 37, you should get a dermatologist.
my skin's pretty good.
Is it? Are you sure? Have you seen your back? What's on your back?
I don't know.
You don't know. There could be like a little mole back there that's could be benign. Maybe it's not. Maybe it's malignant. Maybe it's not. But someone could check that out for you.
You're fucking malignant, motherfucker. Fucking malignant little fucking asshole. What about you? Do you ignore signs?
I think I definitely used to.
I mean, miss,
like-
I didn't eat all weekend.
Well, that I wasn't hungry. Like,
Yeah.
it wasn't because I was choosing actively not to eat. I just wasn't hungry.
Yeah.
And I had eaten so much and I felt so gross on Friday that I think
You were
it
like,
just-
these calories will sustain me for 72 hours.
Well, I just felt so gross on Friday that it was like, I think it just.
What'd you eat?
Well, we had professional development day, so we had people provide breakfast. So a whole bunch of pastries, donuts, bagels, things like that, and then it was pizza for lunch.
Yeah.
And I don't eat like that anymore. So after eating that, I just felt so
Donut pizza.
gross.
Yeah.
Donuts and pizza.
Dude, I fucking love donuts, and that is why I actively avoid them.
Yeah.
They don't make vegan donuts very often, so I can like never have them.
No.
It's
No,
kind of
donuts are
fun.
taste-wise fantastic.
Okay, wait.
Love donuts.
Wait,
but they are terrible.
what type of donuts do you like? Do you like cake donuts more, or do you like regular donuts more?
What's your favorite donut?
Well, glazed is my
I love a
favorite.
Boston cream.
Glazed is my favorite.
I
Just
love a
classic
good
glazed.
Boston cream. I mean, dude, I like anything. Have you ever been to Astro Donuts in DC? They do wild shit. They do like maple bacon donuts. Oh, it's like a $5 donut, but it's so fucking good. It's so fucking good. A French cruller, like I love a blueberry cake donut, which are heavy.
I
Dude,
like cake.
Maple donuts, you can only have like one of them because they're like so fucking rich. Anyway, what were we talking about?
I was saying that I think that
You don't
I
eat like
used
that.
to
Yeah, yeah.
like no active addiction. Like I ignored any signs. Of,
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
mental health,
Yeah,
physical
because
health,
you're like,
anything,
my Coke body looks great.
and I just didn't care. Or part of me avoided it because if I didn't want to know.
Did your brain ever say that to you? Like,
Oh my
like,
god, dude!
No.
My brain. Always,
Really?
Well,
Dude,
maybe
when I
for a
was,
little
like-
bit, but it,
When I was like 125
Have you
pounds,
always had like
I was like, fuck
body
yeah.
issues like in your mind?
I have body
Or are you pretty
dysmorphia.
good? I know you do. I'm not talking to you.
but we're not going off on another tangent.
No.
Do you have
now,
body dysmorphia? Do you
me? No.
No.
But now, I don't think the reason I avoid it now is because of money.
Okay. That's fair. That's fair. That makes sense.
Like I know I have to get wisdom teeth pulled.
What? You're real? You haven't gotten them pulled yet?
I had one pulled way back in the day,
You had one?
right? Because it had a cavity.
Oh my god.
Right now, I have one of my wisdom teeth has a huge hole in it, but it doesn't hurt.
Oh yeah.
So I've just been ignoring it, and partially also because I don't want to get it pulled because I don't want to be on pain meds for it.
You don't have to be on pain meds. I wasn't on pain meds when I got on my wisdom teeth out.
So I'm avoiding it for different reasons.
I usually like I like a Tylenol 3 for like the first like 48 hours. That's it. That's what I like. Generally that's like because I've talked to my dentist about it, and generally they'll give me a prescription for 5 Tylenol 3s, which I'll take like the night of, and then like the next morning, and then because I think you take like 2 or 3, something like that. So I'll take it for like the first 24 to 48 hours to get me through that, and then I'm fine. But yeah, I remember back in the day, dentists used to be like, "Oh yeah, here's 30 Percocets for getting your tooth pulled," and I was like, "That seems excessive. I'll take it, but I don't think I need all this." But
The only time I ever got my tooth pulled was by like this guy. He looked like an evil like old tooth fairy.
dude, I got 4 teeth pulled last year.
Jesus Christ, David.
I mean, it's not my fault. My
Are
teeth,
they capped? Like what? Or did you get implants? What? Like
I need to. Dude, you know how expensive implants are?
no? You have insurance. What's
No, that doesn't. That's cosmetic, dude. That is not covered by insurance.
oh.
Yeah, dental insurance only covers emergencies or routine shit. Like, oh, you're getting a cleaning. That's covered. Oh, you have a hole in your tooth and need a filling. That's covered. Oh, you're getting a root canal. Sorry, that's actually, getting a
I thought a
crown.
root canal was covered, and like
A root canal is. The crown is not. Do you know how much a fucking crown costs?
I've had a crown put in before. Yeah,
Yeah, it costs like $1,200.
I thought mine was covered though when I
No.
I don't know. That shit's
No.
expensive. So
Yeah, I got 2 crowns last year, and I'm still paying them off.
if it's not actively bothering me, then I just
Yeah.
is what it is.
I spent $4,000 on crowns last year.
Jeez.
Yeah.
All right. When in real danger, have I ever been
remember my
either
answer to this.
indifferent to that danger or somehow unable to protect myself as a result of my addiction?
I remember what I wrote for this because the last time I was held at gunpoint in addiction, I told the motherfucker to shoot me.
Yeah, I've been held at gunpoint and knife point, and I didn't give a fuck.
Yeah. I was in the Barnes and Noble parking lot in Longgate doing a drug deal with this.
You've told me about
this little fucking
Yeah,
douchebag
I would have
Manny,
said the same
and he wanted
thing.
like a fucking QP, and so I brought it, and he gets into my Pontiac Vibe, and he fucking holds a gun up to me, and I was like, "Are you fucking out of your mind?"
I love that
it was
the
it was
Pontiac
noon.
Vibe is part of
it
the
was
story.
Oh yeah, it has to be. It was noon, so it's bright as shit out. I was like, "You're gonna shoot me in the middle of fucking Barnes and Noble parking lot?" I was like, "You're out of your fucking mind." He's like, "Give me all your money and drugs." I'm like, "Fuck you, shoot me." I'm like, I'm not giving you shit. And he was like, I'll fucking shoot you. I was like, go ahead. Go ahead. I was like, you think you're going to fucking get away with it? You're not going anywhere. So I took my keys out of my car. I started getting out. He's like, where the fuck are you going? I was like, I'm going to buy a book. You can suck my dick. And I fucking left. But like the fact, and like looking back on it, like part of me was like, yeah, I showed him. But I'm also like, he could have fucking shot me.
He could have.
He legit could have fucking shot me. I did. And at the time I was like, you are not robbing me today. And so, yeah. Did I reacted danger with indifference? Yeah. And I got held at gunpoint 5 times, and every time it got less and I cared less and less. The first time I froze like a deer in headlights, and then from then on it was just just the degree of care just went down every time. I was just like, fine, let's get this over with. There you go. Please don't shoot me. Have I ever harmed someone as a result of my addiction?
What does
Not
that mean?
physically.
Well, that's a loaded question.
Yeah, what does that mean?
I mean,
It means whatever you want it to
yes.
be.
We'll just say yes, but physically,
let's all just choose one. Let's choose one. How have I harmed people? I robbed a handful of people with a broken gun. Go.
I mean, my actions
Yeah.
harmed the people that cared about me.
Yeah.
Like,
You swindled money out of people.
not purposely.
I mean, it was kind of on purpose.
It wasn't initially. My intentions weren't to be
how did
that
you
initially.
Oh, was
Okay.
this the cancer thing?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was pretty bad. That's like 7th layer hell stuff.
You're a piece of shit.
We weren't going into school to collect money.
Yeah.
We were collecting our own money, and then people asked,
People were
and we
like-
panicked and came up with something, and then people started donating.
I'm just saying that 7th layer of hell shit right there. It's not good.
I mean, if it's not premeditated, I mean, yeah, like murder is murder, but if it's like an accidental murder, it's like,
that's
shit
manslaughter.
happens.
Yeah,
Shit
that's
happens.
manslaughter.
Yeah, so it was it was manslaughter, swindle.
How have I hurt? I think I hurt like just friendships and all that. That's the big one. You know, like just destroying.
Yeah, I think you hurt people
friendships.
psychologically by
Yeah.
manipulating them.
I think. Well, hey, no, people weren't manipulated by me. I'm a.
Do you hear the tone?
Yeah.
People weren't manipulated by me.
And we know that to be false.
Yes.
Do I have temper tantrums or react to my feelings in other ways that lower my self-respect or sense of dignity? Describe.
Yeah. Probably.
I mean, again, yeah. I mean, you hit the nail on the head. This is step 1, so it is early recovery shit. Yeah, without cocaine or drugs, yeah, I punched holes in walls and I
Right.
had temper tantrums.
Right. I didn't know how to manage any feeling that I had.
Yeah,
That's what the drugs were for.
I bit people. Oh, Magnus just needs drugs.
Wait, did you bite people?
No, but that was a
would've been-
callback.
That would have been a huge like.
That was a callback.
I would have
to
been like,
Magnus.
"Holy shit,
I'd
dude!
be like, oh,
Magnus,
okay, that makes sense.
That makes sense now. Like, you were biting people into your 20s. Like, no wonder Magnus is biting people.
No, but I mean, depends on like what you just define as a temper tantrum. If you define like, yeah, David's angry at the government and rich people, so he took his shit in golf holes. Like, I
Yeah.
guess you could call that a temper tantrum. Like,
No, I would have like
but no,
pretty-
I wouldn't like stomp my feet in a Walmart and be like, wah, wah, wah. No.
No, I would have some flip outs though if I ran out of drugs. And,
Yes.
like I didn't have
Yeah.
drugs and like I'm withdrawing. Like things could get real. They could escalate pretty fast. You
I
know.
would lower my self-respect or my self-dignity. Yeah.
Have I ever? Is that the next question?
No.
Oh.
Did I take drugs or act out on my addiction to change or suppress my feelings?
Of course.
Absolutely.
What were drugs for?
Right.
Like, that's what drugs are for.
Therefore,
To change or
Yeah.
suppress your feelings.
haven't you watched Alice in Wonderland?
Like, it's that, I mean, that's, I'm going to be honest, that's kind of a stupid, like, it's a duh fucking question.
Well, right.
Well,
but
but
like,
some-
again,
Well, the second part is the better part of it. What was I trying to change or suppress? That's a good question. But did I ever do it? Yeah. Because even if it's technically a good move,
but again, like, this is step 1, and we are far removed from that, like, answering this coming out of active addiction.
yeah,
Like,
you're right.
that is a question that is
Is poignant for people
for
in the
self-awareness. Like,
Yeah.
that's,
the first year or two of recovery.
yeah.
Yeah. Okay, what was I trying to change or suppress?
Whatever feeling I was feeling.
How little the fact that I felt like I was 2 inches tall most of my life. How about that? Let's go with that. Eric actually was 2 inches tall.
Expectations.
Heyo, height joke. That was rude. That was kind of funny though.
I was trying to suppress change expectations that more so probably came from myself than other people. Yeah, that was probably the main one.
What about you, Eric? What were you trying to change or suppress?
Feelings.
Any specific
Thanks.
feelings?
No, just feelings. in
Feeling
general.
not good enough?
No, all feelings.
All feelings.
I didn't want to feel.
Anything, yeah. Wanted to be numb to anything.
Yeah, that's been my.
I mean, that's kind of like how we were raised. It's like you're supposed to be happy, and when you're not happy, you need to figure out how to be happy. And it's like,
And we're not going to talk about it. We're going to pretend like it's not there.
Yeah, you're not supposed to feel any other feelings because
No,
that's not natural or they're bad.
So like, if I wanted to feel like, especially in my 20s, man, I used drugs as like cocktails to change exactly how I felt. I want to feel up and down at the same time. Okay, I'll take this. I want to feel this, this, and this. I'll take this. I want to
I
feel
can
like
see
that.
Eric having like a little like tackle box attaché where he just had various pills with like actual labels on them, like up or downer, up like sad, happy, and just
I'm
like
not
all
gonna
sorts of
lie.
like
Side effects.
I
side
still,
effects.
I still have a dream to have like a Gonzo-like suitcase.
That's what I kind of pictured you having.
I still want one of those one day. Like that's still on my
Just full
bucket
of uppers,
list.
downers,
of
laughers,
everything.
screamers, gigglers.
Here's some adrenochrome. Have you had adrenochrome? And I got this from a lady who died about 3 weeks ago.
Fucking
I
hilarious.
extracted it right from her brain.
That's not where adrenaline comes from.
Adrenochrome.
I know that's not
Where does it come from?
comes from your kidneys.
What about adrenal?
Adrenaline comes from your kidneys.
No, the other one. There's adrenochrome and there's I was
know.
just reading about this the other day. There's two things that get like there's DMT as well, but there's something else that gets deposited in
I
the
had my
brain.
friend who I was like, yeah, my adrenaline, and I point to my head. They were like, why'd you point to your head just then? I was like, for adrenaline. They were like, that's not where adrenaline comes from. I was like, what are you saying to me right now? They're like, adrenaline comes from a gland on your kidneys. And I was like,
I didn't
Really?
know that.
yeah.
Adrenine. I'm not.
The adrenal glands, I'm pretty sure, are on your kidneys. Look it up.
I'm looking up adrenochrome right now.
Jesus Christ. All right. Well, that.
I think we can do reservations. There's
Yeah, we
only
can do the
5.
next one. Yeah.
Okay, we'll do reservations as well.
Oh, it is adrenaline. So ephedrine.
Ephedrine, yeah. Well, no, ephedrine is a fucking.
So
I'm not getting into this.
adrenochrome is a chemical compound produced by the oxidation of adrenaline. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay.
And is possibly the cause of schizophrenia.
Nice. All right. Reservations. I'll read this. Reservations, for anybody who doesn't know, are places in our program that we have reserved, quote unquote, or it's in italics, for relapse. They may be built around the idea that we can retain a small measure of control, something like, okay, I can accept that I can't control my using, but I can still sell drugs. That's not a reservation. That's just shitty logic.
Or capitalism.
Okay. We may think that after we've accomplished some goal, made a certain amount of money, or been clean for a certain number of years, then we'll be able to control our using. Reservations are usually tucked away in the back of our minds. We are not fully conscious of them. It is essential that we expose any reservations we may have and cancel them right here, right now.
Well, there was something that you skipped in there, the line that says, we may think there's something we just can't face clean. A serious illness, for instance, or the death of a loved one. And plan to use if it ever happens. Because that's what we talked about, that I
That is
asked
what we
you
talked about. That
to save
is-
for the
you're
reservations
absolutely
section.
Right. And I read that first sentence and I was like, these next 3 sentences, I don't even need to read. So I'm glad you did. Thank you. Have I accepted the full measure of my disease? Yeah.
For the most part.
Yeah. By now, yes. But yeah, 12 years at the time when I wrote this, probably not, because I did not know the extent of the manifestations of my addiction. But nowadays, yeah. Have you, Eric? Have you accepted the full measure of your disease?
Duh. I am fully accepting of myself and my shortcomings and addictions and vices and what have you.
Good.
I would say like early on in recovery, absolutely not.
Yeah.
Because I did think that, you know, I'll just go get clean. I'll go to meetings for some time, and when it all kind of like,
yeah.
everybody
When
forgets
it's time
about
to, when
it,
it's time to go. It's time
and
to
I'll
go.
go back to doing what I was doing, I'll just,
That's called the master class. Yeah.
be a little bit better about it. Like, I don't actually need this. I'll just go back to drinking and smoking weed. And even there's some days, I would say, even now, for most part, no. I
then it
have
was
fully accepted it.
It was after the 12th pair of shoes that you realized maybe I do have a problem.
No. But there's still times every once in a while that makes me think like, oh, I could probably just smoke weed and I'd be fine. Like, I don't have
Yeah,
any
every once in
desire
a
to
while.
drink
Yeah.
at all. But I'm like, yeah, I could smoke weed and I'd be fine. But then like if I sit there and actually think about it, I'm like, absolutely fucking not.
Yeah. Because like you'll be fucked up, and then you'll think, oh, maybe a drink would be nice.
Yeah.
Because and that's how it starts. It's always this fucking snowball effect.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. The full measure of my disease. It didn't understand it at the time, and there's still and I'm still learning shit from time to time. Like, oh, I didn't realize that behavior was, I don't know, related, or this thing happening in life I didn't think was going to trigger me, but it does. Do I think I can still associate with the people connected with my addiction? Can I still go to the places where I used to, or where I used? Do I think it's wise to keep drugs or paraphernalia around just to, quote unquote, remind myself or test my recovery? If so, why?
That last part is a dumb fucking question.
Is the dumb fucking thing. Well, I'm sure some people do it.
I'm sure they do, but it's a dumb thing.
All right.
If you're trying to be abstinence based,
I did it with cigarettes. I did it with cigarettes numerous times,
and that's why you fucked up.
and that's why I failed.
Yeah.
Yeah. You're absolutely right. I'd be like, well, I just have like a couple cigarettes like in my center console in case I get really stressed out.
Oh, just in case.
Just in case. Those are my in case cigarettes.
You know, what if something happens and like I get really
And
anxious
honestly, I always smoked them at like the most minor inconvenience. Like I was like, man, today was annoying. I need a cigarette. But I would smoke my emergency cigarette.
Yeah, you'd make some rationalization in your mind that it was like bad enough to be like I
need
deserve
the
it.
cigarette. Like, no, when I first got clean, I there were several bongs and glass pieces that I actively broke. Because I was like, no, more. Like, I was such a self-righteous little fucking turd. Like, I could have sold them, but
all my
I
parents
threw them in a
broke
dumpster.
mine.
I was like, no, never again.
My parents broke all my bongs. I was really pissed about that. I was like, I was gonna give those to my cousin, and be a nice dude, but you guys are being assholes and just
Yeah.
wanted to break stuff. Okay, fine.
I actually would like to answer this question in full.
Okay.
Cool.
So do I think I can still associate with the people connected with my addiction? So I have one friend who was a friend of mine prior to addiction. Like, we grew up together.
Yeah.
Right now, I don't know, over the past couple years, he's been going on and off of using and not using and saying he's clean, and then goes back to drinking, or I'm not using drugs anymore, but he's still drinking.
Yeah.
So he's been unsuccessful, but he has still been in and out of my life
Yeah.
from all during my recovery. Recently I haven't talked to him actually because I'm sick of the bullshit. I got finally to the point, like I think it was back in the fall, where like he'll just stop answering and then he'll pop up and he'll say I'm clean or this or that or whatever, and I take it with a grain of salt, whatever he's got to say.
Good for you.
But we had a conversation about it. Like, he actually like went to South Carolina with his parents. He says he wasn't using anymore. He came back, but it's still like the lying behavior. And I finally told him, like, dude, like, either be honest or like we're done.
Yeah.
Like the good, the bad, the ugly. I want to know all of it. But if I know when you're lying, I've just honestly stopped caring. And I'm like, yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Like I don't give it the time of day. So recently I've chosen that I don't want to associate with him. And it's not because of I think that I'm going to use if I'm with him. Like that's not really the part of it. It's just that I've decided that I don't want people in my life like that anymore.
Yeah. And as far as places where I used, I mean, we still go to Ravens games.
Right.
Yeah.
I don't go to the bar that I used to go to.
No.
I went in there with my family a few weeks ago for lunch, and that was fine. But I don't have any
that
desire.
Shaq's?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't have any desire to go back there, and it's not because I think I'll use if I'm there. It's because I just don't want to be there. Mm-hmm. Early on in recovery, I chose not to go there because I was not sure.
That was
kind
never
of-
a place I drank. I never went to, I don't think I ever went
I
to
drank
Shaq's to
there. I
drink.
used in the
no,
bathroom
David,
there.
Well, Dave, that's because David, we had Old Ellicott City.
Yeah.
Like we had the true Old Ellicott City.
But
Like,
I mean, you're still you
No.
were still a Catonsville kid too. So
no, but when you and I were coming up, it was Old Ellicott City.
Oh no.
Like it was like
it was
I mean,
jamming.
that was it was a dream. It was
Yeah,
like,
and honestly, I don't go back to the Phoenix or
well,
the
you
judges
can't
bench.
you can't
Right,
go back
you
to the
can't.
Phoenix.
Well, not the OG Phoenix.
And
No,
why would
there's
you
a
want to
new
go to the
Phoenix.
judges bench? It smells like piss and urine in there, dude. Like
I
I walked in
don't even
there.
remember how it
I
smelled.
walked in there with Mary Catherine and her sister because we were looking for places to eat and they have vegan food. And we walked in and they both were just like, this place smells like urine. And there was just people all around and they just looked at us and we were like, all right, it's time to go.
Yep.
Let's go.
Bye.
You guys said that a little too loud. Can
Yeah.
I say one thing about this with the associating with people?
Sure.
Like I still associate with my friend Alex, like who is
The Alky.
you know him, right?
Yeah, I do know
you know him. You've
The last time I saw him, I was like, Jesus Christ, are you sweating
he
vodka?
smells, yes, he sweats
He sweats alcohol.
alcohol.
Like, it is bad.
It
He stinks.
smells. He has a certain scent that's very unique. That's like only an alcoholic
That's a
smell.
very nice way of putting it.
He wakes up with DTs. We talked about it yesterday, like, and it's hard, but I don't want to, everyone else has left him, and I've had other friends
That-
where everyone else has left them, and then they end up dying.
Yeah.
And and I care. Like I've known him since I was 5, right? Like I mean, I've known him for over 30 years.
Yeah, it's hard. It's hard not to care, but some level of ourselves has to go into protection mode.
Well, yeah, but I'm not worried about myself, right? Like watching him
Yeah.
drink,
No.
watching him
Not-
drink
not-
makes
I'm-
me not want to drink. Right?
Yes, I'm not saying protection mode of like, oh, I have to protect my recovery. It's like, no, I have to emotionally protect myself for when this person dies.
Well, that's what I did with Rachel,
Yes.
and that's like, I stopped. Like, well, we
Dude,
had,
it's what
we had
it's
other
what we
ways
did.
too.
It's what we did with Matt.
Stout, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it's what we all did. We were all just kind of like holding our breath, like, okay, like we love you and you're going to be around, but we're kind of waiting for you to die, dude.
Yeah.
Like, when's the final shoe going to drop? And like a callback, like reminding me of that. That's also like in addiction, why I didn't go to a doctor and shit like that, because I didn't want to know.
Yeah.
Like I didn't want to know the state of my
I'm
health.
the
Like
opposite of that.
see,
I
they
want
would
to
take
get
would take my
full
blood and be like,
scan.
your liver enzymes are crazy. Like your kidney function is garbage. Like I doubt there's many alcoholics that are going to a regular GP. Like
Well, actually, Alex goes all the time to check his liver levels.
yeah, but that's probably rare.
It is rare,
That's
but he's
probably
like
rare.
he's super conscious of it, so he goes like all the time.
God, that's so bad though.
And like
That's
gets
what-
his liver levels checked, and he's like, "Okay, I'm doing okay. I'm not like it's not that bad yet." Okay,
But yeah,
I think alcohol
yeah,
is
no.
like right up there,
Dude,
with, like,
it
the
is
worst
it is one of the worst fucking drugs.
Like, because
'Cause-
like
You're
so-
drinking poison.
And I mean,
It's fucking poison.
and I drove him, like, I enabled him yesterday, right? Like, I'm the one who drove him to the liquor store to buy alcohol, because he was too drunk to do it himself.
Yeah.
And I don't want him to get a DUI or hurt someone else, so I drove him. So I'm an enabler. I'm bad, whatever. But he's gonna get it anyway, you know. So I'd
Yeah.
rather him be safe.
Yeah, like
It's hard.
my final word. What's crazy about it is bars are safe injection sites.
What?
Bars are safe injection sites. Think about it.
They are safe injection. Wow.
That's
what
what
a
it is.
Great name for a title of an episode that we can't title.
Sure, we can. You
We
can
can use
you
that.
you put it in parentheses.
I'm gonna write
because that's
that.
what like everybody's like. Oh, that's. Everybody like wants to talk down on quote unquote management or harm reduction, and they're like, no, you can't have safe injection sites. You can't have safe use sites. Like that's just promoting, heroin use or whatever use. And I'm like, that's what bars are. They're safe using sites. That is 100% what those are and what they're used for. Here, come in here. We're going to give you safe alcohol that wasn't made in somebody's fucking bathtub, and it's not going to make you go blind. And you can stay here, and you're not going to crash into anybody, or you're safe while you're here.
They're starting to make those in California too for weed. I've noticed. When I was out.
Weed cafes. I'm sure.
When I was in Palm
sure.
Springs, I saw one. We were on a street festival, and it was like this. It was like a bar, but for weed, and they had pool tables in there and everything. I was like, "What the fuck is this?"
Would
But
probably
they didn't sell alcohol.
That'd
which
probably
was
be
weird.
super chill. Super chill.
They just had a bunch of pool tables.
Yeah,
and
I'm
weed.
sure. Yeah, and shuffleboard table, shit
Yeah.
like that. Anybody who's anybody who's still listening, you're trying to quote unquote test your recovery by leaving. Oh, it's just a little in case I need some weed. Get rid of it. Just fucking get rid of it. Yeah. It's just one pill. Get rid of it. It's stupid. Is there something I think I can't get through clean? Some event that might happen that will be so painful that I'll have to use to survive the hurt. I've talked about this, but I'd like to hear Carly's answer.
Yeah, Carly's is really the one that's interesting here.
Why?
Well, because mine is also the same as.
Yeah, ours is the same. Ours is obvious.
Well, not anymore.
What do you mean?
What? What do you?
Wait,
No.
I'm confused.
Because we have kids.
Yeah. Okay.
So our reservation is if our kids passed away, we would
Right.
refuse.
Okay, just your answer was kind of like, oh, okay.
Well, when I wrote this-
now I'm pregnant.
No.
I
Okay.
thought that was,
No.
that's
Dude.
what I thought too.
I was
I was like,
no.
wait.
Is Carly with child?
No.
I was like, Carly has the same answer as us.
I was
now?
like, oh my god.
No, I don't.
Okay, I was about to.
I don't
freak out.
think that I have an answer to this anymore. Because when I wrote this 7 years ago, my mother was still alive.
Yeah.
So that's what I wrote down was that my mom's death, that is something that I didn't think that I could get through clean.
Mm-hmm.
And that was probably the only thing really on that list. And
Yeah, because you weren't married. You hadn't been dating Garrett that long.
we started dating in 2015.
Oh my god.
Oh, so
I got clean
no,
in
it was still a couple-
2018.
Yeah, so it was 3 years. Damn, you had dated him for 3 years by that point?
Yeah.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
You guys have almost been together for 10.
Yep.
Oh, so that's the same. Wow, that's the same year Kristen and I got together. Oh shit.
So that was what it was, is my mom. And
Yeah.
I was able to get through that clean. Like,
yeah.
and that was pretty fucking painful.
Yeah.
But that was my answer, and since then, no, I don't know if I
That's right.
Have fun.
Garrett, if you die, she's not doing drugs over you.
I mean,
not gonna listen to this
at what
anyway.
point do I have, like,
Yeah. I mean, there's no point to use over somebody that died. Because I've lost a lot of people, and I've never once have I been like, oh, let me go pour one out for my homie. But yeah.
I've definitely poured one out for my homie, but yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, if if something happens with Magnus, it's gonna be super fucking tough.
Now, I've been thinking about something else this week, David, which has been kind of tripping me up even more. Is
God.
like, what if something happens to Evie, but then I still have Ava,
Oh God, dude.
right? So then I don't have a choice. I still have to
Yeah,
keep going.
yeah. Like I
You know?
I have one. Yeah, and the fact that you have two. Shit, Nathan has four now. Like,
I think about like what dreams may come when this question comes up a lot.
oh God, why would you do that? That's
Well,
an amazing movie, but it's
because
very sad.
he loses both of his children,
Yeah.
then he dies, and then the wife is like, "What am I going to do?"
No, I thought it was the opposite way.
No, he dies second. Remember?
Oh.
Because he enters, because she's stuck in hell, and he has to go through the seven, like all the different layers in order to get to her, because she's stuck in hell because she committed suicide. You need to rewatch
yeah.
that movie.
Yeah,
if
I need
you-
to rewatch that.
Yeah,
movie.
dude, that
it's
movie's
been it's been a
amazing.
long time.
Amazing movie.
But yeah, I don't know. I would like to say that I can, survive anything, but I don't know. Like my mom dying, I'm like,
Why? You
I think
can
I'd be
survive.
No,
that.
no. I think I'll be. I think I'll be okay. Like
Yeah.
that. I would no. The end of that sentence was like, I think I'll be okay there. But like the two big ones that are Magnus, or big three: Magnus, my wife, and my little sister. The one thing that actually freaks
What
me
about your older sister?
Can I get dark for a
What?
second?
Go ahead.
I like, because of like all of us, like, the three of us and like Brad and Donnie, and like, what if Donnie dies?
Donnie's not going to die.
I mean, he is eventually.
Well, one day, but I don't think in a way that you're like the way Donnie's going to die. Like
What's crazy is that one of us is going to go to all of our funerals.
Donnie is going to be like, he
Isn't that
he
fucking
died-
miserable? Like
It'll be me.
He
Dude.
died in a bizarre
Jesus.
gardening accident, and
Donnie dies in a bizarre gardening. Donnie would die in a very weird way. Like
and
it's just like
said-
unexpected.
The
Just,
police
like,
said it was better left unsolved.
just unsolved. But dude, yeah, one of us is going to go to all of our funerals.
Let's also.
I guarantee. And
That's the
and
sibling thing too, like David.
all right, I'm going to ask you, who's dying first?
Who's dying first?
Yeah.
Brad.
Thank you. That's that. And
It's
Brad,
not even close.
Brad would say that too, which is so like I don't want Brad to die.
No, but
Brad's-
Brad is.
I
gonna
literally
die
texted him
first.
yesterday in the middle of the day just because I was like, I love Brad, and I haven't told him.
He
in a
doesn't
while.
take care of himself.
And I was like, Brad, I fucking love you. You're my brother, and I just I
He
wanted to
smoked
tell you
more
that today.
cigarettes than you.
I doubt that.
No, he did. I'd
might
watch you both, and like
We were bad.
you were both like
We were
chain
bad.
smoking, but like the way that Brad can
bad.
smoke cigarettes, it's like my god, dude.
Yeah, and he, I hope it's just crazy to think about. Like, yeah, Dan and Allie, or Herb and Hoppy, like, because they're a decade and a half older. They're 15 years on me, so it's like, fuck. Eventually, my sponsor's gonna die. What am I
Yeah.
gonna do then?
You get a new sponsor.
No, not an option. I like at this point, I'm like, no, I wouldn't get another. I'd be like, right now, the way I feel, I wouldn't get a new sponsor. All right,
Yeah.
final three. Read that question, Eric.
Okay. Final 2 or 3?
2.
Oh, final two. Yes.
Do I think that with some amount of clean time or with different life circumstances, I'd be able to control my using? What a great question for me.
Yeah. Carly already answered it. Go ahead.
No, wait. Did Carly answer it?
I answered it earlier.
Yeah, she answered it earlier.
Should I answer it or should you answer it, David?
You
You
answer
can
it.
answer it.
Yeah, you answered. You read it.
All right. Well, I mean, I am the most interestingly positioned to answer this question, since I guess I kind of do use. So, do I think that with some amount of clean time and with different life circumstances, I'd be able to control my using? Yes, I do actually.
So, well, yours is a different story because it's pain management, and instead of drowning your liver and kidneys with acetaminophen and ibuprofen for the rest of your life, you've gone
I've gone the maintenance like and marijuana like sort of routes.
which which is not using, but I understand what you're saying.
But I also moderate with other things too. So, like it's not just with weed.
What do you moderate with? What are you talking about?
Well, like we've talked about this, David. Like I've
we?
I've had drinks. We've talked about this.
I did not know that.
You did not know that? We've recorded episodes on this, David.
All right, maybe I forgot it. I don't give a
We've
shit.
recorded episodes on this.
Okay.
I think that, like, how do I put this? I feel like sometimes when we come to recovery, like we look at it like a life sentence, right?
Yeah.
Like you're talking about right now. But I feel that life changes,
Yeah.
and I don't always feel like what once was is always going to have to be.
That's fair.
It's
I'm not
it's-
fucking.
It's like Zach Booth,
I don't care.
right?
Yeah.
Right? Like Zach Booth, went back to, doing drinking and smoking and all that.
Yeah.
And like he is doing it, from what I understand, successfully.
Yeah.
Now I've seen people who can't do it successfully,
Yeah.
but
And it's just like and like that's what they're really getting at, like with this question, because like, is it possible? Yes.
yes, but what I want to preface is there's a bottom line,
Yeah.
right? Where
I mean, there has to be.
there has to be, if you go back to drinking and using or doing any of that sort of stuff, there has to be a bottom line. Because if there's no bottom line, you're fucked. You're just going right back to where
because
you were.
then there's no
There's no
level of
limit.
accountability or boundaries. Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, like, I think like I personally, I know it's it's something people don't want to hear in recovery, but I
Yeah.
think it is possible, and I think a lot of people do it.
It is possible. Absolutely.
Because where do you think all those people go? They don't all die.
Yeah.
A lot of them go back out and use successfully.
To a degree.
To a degree.
To a degree.
To a
yeah.
degree.
I mean, but like then, yeah. We'll just leave it at that. To a degree.
It depends on the person.
It
It's much like,
depends on the purpose.
It's
And-
much
and-
like dying, right? Like it's all up to fucking luck, and it's all like
Okay.
like no, seriously.
No,
right?
I get what you're saying. Yeah.
Like it's a fucking roll of the die.
And
like,
that goes perfectly into my point. It's just like, is it possible? Sure. On the pie chart of possibilities, it is on there. But for me and like
For most
Carly
people,
as
yeah.
well, like, am I willing to spin the wheel? Mm-hmm. And I'm not. Like,
No,
just be
yeah.
like, and unlike, yeah, as far as
and I'm a gambler, so I'm willing to spin the wheel.
yeah, and like that, and your life is not unmanageable. So,
No.
like, it is what it is.
No, my life right now is fine, right?
And yeah, I would be lying if I said I didn't think about it. Like at age 75, which is 35 years from now.
Oh, you want to smoke weed and on a
No,
rocking chair or some shit?
I'm just saying.
I 100% do.
Yeah, like I'm like, dude, if because I have 12 years now, at that point I'll have 47 years.
Dude,
so like
how many
if I have
people-
47 years clean, like I see it both ways. Like what I'm on my way out.
Dude,
like this is the
How many of us have that fucking same like thing
Exactly.
from high school of like, man, I just want to be like 65 sitting in a rocking chair smoking a blunt.
I know, it's like the dumbest
so
thing.
many people
but
have that.
but on the other side of that coin is, at that point, what is the point? Like, what is the point? Like, why would I use?
But why not?
Why
Well,
not?
exactly. I feel like, if I have 47 years clean, it's like, well, why should I? Well, why should I not? And it's like, okay, that's fair. But like, that's just, I don't know.
And it honestly, it makes it harder with that you can just go buy it legally now. Like to say
Yeah.
like,
Oh, I know. You spoiled
No.
little kids.
right?
Yeah.
Like, and then the access is easy. Mm-hmm. Like you don't have to work to go find it.
It's at the store.
Right.
Yeah, it's at the store. But like, I don't know, because then that whole that later in life mentality is like, well, why shouldn't I shoot heroin? I'm
Am I really
I'm 75
at that
years
age?
old.
I don't think that I'm going to have the energy or like the
yeah, I
drive
would
to go
probably
find
have-
it.
yeah,
If I could go to the
exactly.
store and
Probably
get a
not.
pre-rolled
You could-
joint and then just go to my rocking chair,
Yeah,
Well,
who knows?
You know, in the UK, they actually give heroin for like hospice patients, and like that's kind of like how they, like ease them into death.
Just start doing heroin. You won't care what's happening.
That's literally
true.
how they like, kind of like, it's a hospice care drug.
Yeah.
like, essentially.
And finally, what reservations am I still holding on to? I mean, we just. This is one of those questions we just fucking answered it
Quaaludes.
multiple fucking times. We're holding on to like
Quaaludes.
If Quaaludes ever make a comeback, Eric and I are gonna be first in line.
Yeah, dude. Like that Quaaludes, and there's another one, another weird like.
Apparently, adrenochrome for you fucking
Adrenochrome as
weirdo.
well. What,
goddamn
dude?
weirdo.
You've seen Fear and Loathing.
I have seen Fear and
You
Loathing.
like everyone has. Always
That doesn't
been-
mean I'm gonna go out and huff ether.
Well, we know people who have done that. I don't want to huff ether either.
I used to carry a backpack.
I really like
with
cats.
a bottle of ether.
I like cats.
Oh God, we
Um,
should get him on the podcast.
And then we should link his Judge Judy show to the podcast.
That would be amazing.
Can't believe he was on Judge Judy. I like cats.
What a fucking dick.
I like-
Anyway,
What a great like little subtitle at the bottom of the screen. He likes cats.
he likes cats. All right, everybody, thanks for joining us once again on our third episode into Step 1, and I believe we only have one more episode left in Step 1, where we will be, tackling surrender and spiritual principles, and then moving on to Step 2. So everybody, thank you for joining us once again. Go to all our social media outlets, like, share, subscribe. Please join our Patreon because we are self-supporting and need help keeping the mics on. But most importantly, everybody out there,
stay safe and stay clean.